Yo, what's the word? What's going on? It's your boy, the people's rapper, Jon Connor, and welcome to the Connor Culture Podcast. We back. We got my dogs, J.A.L. Boogie, G Money. Fellas, it's good to see y'all, man.
Good to see
What
you too,
up? What
bro.
up, Connor? What's
What's
happening,
poppin'?
man?
What's poppin'? You
Man,
doing all right,
ru-
man? You said you was in a storm, man. Like where you at?
running around like a chicken with his head cut off, dog. Man, it was crazy. It was a lot going on, man. So before we get into the topic, because you asked the question, I just want to make sure I answer it. Yeah, man, like my debit card got somebody tried to get into it on some fraud shit. So I had to cancel the card, get a new card, blah blah blah. So I had to go to the bank and all this other type of stuff, but I got it figured out.
Man,
For
Whatever.
those who are concerned that's watching out there, we got it. We good.
right.
Word,
And
word.
and for the punk ass motherfucker who stole the
But yes, fellas, let us know what is the topic for the day.
Word. Okay. All right. So the album, we're talking about the album 24, the collaboration between yourself and legendary No Limit Beats by the Pound producer, Mr. KLC. So yeah, let's go ahead and kick this off. I just want to just in general, right? So just kind of starting at the top, like how did you get to even wanting to do this album with KLC, like the album 24? So just tell us a little bit about the journey to get to 24.
Well, to be real, whenever I tell the story, it's always the same. KLC and No Limit and Beats by the Pound and they whole movement was the whole reason that I started rapping in the first place. Like before I wanted to be an MC, I wanted to be a chef. So I used to watch my grandmother and my mother cook. And so even still to this day, I still take pride in the things that I do know how to cook. I take pride in it. So that's still, in me that I love cooking. But one day a friend of mine named Dave, he came to the house. He had the TRU True to the Game album, the one with the three skulls on the front, and he played No Limit Soldiers. And he was like, "Man, y'all ain't heard of Master P?" And man, whatever it was about the beat, about P's cadence, nigga, I'm busting me lows, but I'm hitting them down with jokes. Y'all niggas on the ropes, got your hole in the scope. It was, I don't know what it was, man, but at that moment, as a 12-year-old kid, it was like, that's what I want to do. I want to rap. And the fact that they was from New Orleans, and at the time, now that we didn't have like Lil Wayne and we had No Limit and Cash Money and BG and Juvenile, New Orleans is a staple in hip hop now, but in 1996 and 1997, it was virtually unknown to the rest of the world. Like they had their cultural thing in New Orleans, but as far as like up in Michigan, we ain't know nothing about New Orleans hip hop, like you know what I'm saying, in Michigan. So it was like it inspired me, and I'm saying that to say it inspired me that if Master P could be from New Orleans, a place that hadn't yet been put on the map in hip hop, then it made me believe that I could be from Flint. I could establish, what I'm saying, a new place within hip hop if they could do it. And it was so many just ideas that went through my head from the first time I heard No Limit Soldiers. I went in my room, I had a little Casio keyboard. I learned how to play No Limit Soldiers. I'm talking about whatever it was inspired me to the point I wanted to make beats, I wanted to rap, I wanted to have a label, and I'm not exaggerating. It was literally all at the same time. It was like, and I remember telling my mama, I want to rap. And she was like, all right, if that's what you're going to do, then that's what you're going to do. And she took me serious from that day forward. But you said, so how did it all come to be? So that's how I first got introduced to KL and No Limits music through a cat named Dave that stayed down the street from me. And like I say, from the first time I heard it, my mind was blown. I had heard like hip hop was always around in my house. My sister was a huge hip hop head. She was listening to Tupac and Outkast and Boss and the Brat and Criss Cross, Salt and Pepper, Fresh Prince, and DJ Jazzy Jeff. What else was she listening to? Just all of that. Snoop. She was listening to everything, but none of it made me want to rap. Like I identified that I liked the music, but when I heard No Limit Soldiers, when I heard that TRU album, that's what made me want to rap. So years later, I ended up going to the festival, the music festival South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. And ironically enough, I took like 30 cats from my crew. We drove however many hours it is from Flint to Austin, Texas. We drove down there 30 deep, and we bought army fatigues and all of that. We had the army fatigues, and we had some of us had canteens and the vests and the
They came
joints that
full
you could.
gear.
Oh, I'm talking about full gear, dog. Like
Yeah.
the girls had they little cute little fatigue outfits on. And so for me with South by Southwest, it was like, the whole industry is at that festival. And at the time, this is 2012 when I was first starting to make a name for myself. I knew that I had to cause a spectacle. And so, I love pro wrestling, and pro wrestling is all about spectacle. It's about your presentation, the way, not just the music, but the way you look and the way you carry yourself, and also having a call and response that you could have people say back to you. And at the time we was doing the Blue City Club, thing. So we go to South by Southwest, Army fatigued up. So my manager at the time, my man Kendall Young Sad Freeman, he had set up all of these interviews for me, and one of them was Sway in the Morning. So when I got to Sway, it was crazy because okay, at South by Southwest, like doing a Sway interview at South by Southwest ain't like normal because everybody, it's so many artists there, and so it's kind of like everybody in and out one after another. You only got like 15 minutes because it's so many artists that's there to do an interview. But when I got to the Sway in the Morning interview, I tripped out because it was Mia X, Mystical, and KLC was there at Sway to do an interview. And Gangsta Boo was there too. I was tripping out over Gangsta Boo too because I was a big 3 6 Mafia fan too. But Gangsta Boo was there too. It was so many artists there. But I remember telling the homie, I was like, yo, there go Mia X, Mystical, and KLC. I'm like, listen, I don't give a fuck if I come off looking like a fan in this moment, because I am a fan in this moment. I said, after I do this interview, I'm about to go introduce myself to KLC. So I go up to him and I'm like, bruh, I'm like, yo music is the reason why I started rapping. And then he kind of modestly was like, oh, I appreciate it. But then I'm like, no, you don't understand, bro. I'm like, I'm like, no, seriously. I'm like, he was like, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I'm like, no, I said, bro, I said Mac the game. And then when I said Mac the game, because see, I started naming songs that wasn't singles, you feel me? And so I never forget it. I spit Max the game to him. Murder, murder, I wrote it in braille, uncut lyrical dope, certified by my scale, the homicide rapper. There never be another after the Max Rapture. I represent, that's what I'm on the map for. And so when I started spitting that, KL eyes lit up like, yo, this nigga serious. Like this nigga, this nigga really do be lit. And I look back at him like, I'm telling you, dog, like, yes, you're the reason I'm here right now. And then I went on to tell him and Mia X and Mystical, I'm like, dog, I'm like, me and my dogs just drove 20 hours or 24 hours, whatever it was, 48, however many hours it was, with our army fatigues. I said, because bro, I was inspired by what y'all did. And so after that I remember KO was just like, man, fuck all that. Take my number, my nigga. And then he gave me his number, and we've been solid ever since. And we had always talked about doing a project, but it never came into fruition until now. And it's a beautiful thing. This album is named 24 because it took 24 years from the time I heard No Limit Soldiers in 97 to the time we said we was gonna do the project. It was 24 years in between that time.
Oh wow. See, I was thinking completely different. I'm thinking 24 hours in a day, and okay.
Yep, 24 came from that, from it being 24 years in between the time I first fell in love with hip hop because of No Limit Soldiers and then the time that we said, bet we gonna make an album.
That's dope. That's dope.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we were wondering like where did 24 come from? Like, what's the meaning behind 24?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. You go ahead, L. Go. Do your thing, bro.
All right. So we all know that KLC is a legendary for his work for No Limit and Beat by the Pound. Tell us, Jon, what does it mean to you to collaborate with KLC and his legacy? What does that mean to you to be able to do a whole album with KLC?
That, for one, what it means to me is that God is real, and God will do things to show you that God is real, because they'll be so specific to you and your story, you know, that you can't deny it. That it's like, this is on this, there has to be a higher power for something this specific to happen. You feel me? Because like I say, I'm not gassing it, bro. I had no interest in being a rapper before I heard No Limit Soldiers, before I heard KLC, specifically his music.
Wow.
That was the music that changed my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? That day in my mother's house, when I heard that song, that beat, that song changed the trajectory of my entire life. It wasn't like I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself before that. I was passionate about cooking. Like I said, I would watch my grandmother, my mama, anybody that was cooking, I would always watch them cook and take notes. And I had intentions, like as a youngster, to go to culinary arts school. So it was like, that's what I wanted to do. And that beat, that song, that day, it changed all of that. Like, it wasn't no more cooking. I became obsessed with hip hop after that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, so for me, it's like, sometimes I say God will flex on you sometimes. Flex on you in a good way and in a loving way. Because it's like, it almost feel like this is God saying, like, see, I've been watching the whole time. Everything you doing, it meant something. Like, I was always there. It's like everything that I ever went through was for moments like this. You know, if one thing about my story is different, then maybe this album doesn't happen, and I don't fully receive how amazing God is through the gifts that he'll specifically give to you. So for one, what it means to me is God is real. And if you allow God to flex in your life, if you just believe and if you just continue to push forward in whatever it is that you do, God will give you like little gifts that are so amazing that honestly is undescribable. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. What it means to me is it not restored, because my faith in the Most High never wavers, but it reconfirms what I already know about God. Is what this album means to me. Two, what it means to me to be a part of KLC's legacy is the 14-year-old kid in me still can't believe it, because I used to go to Nick's Records and Tapes on Pasadena.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I used to go to Nick's Records and Tapes on Pasadena, and them No Limit CDs was like $25 a piece. And I remember,
yes, sir.
And it was dropping once a month. They were dropping once a month. Like, damn.
Hey,
listen.
P was killing them pockets, boy.
Hold on.
Damn it. I gotta get it.
Look. This, I'm gonna show y'all something. Hold on. Wait, right there. This is a Connor Culture exclusive. Y'all stay right there. And y'all can still hear me.
Yeah.
You
still
I want y'all to know it's real.
Hey, and one thing. Well, one thing too, Jon, you still cooking, man, but you just in the lab. You're just a music lab cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Yeah, let him cook.
Let him cook.
Let him cook. But look, so I went and grabbed this, and this shit got dust on it. But look, this is my CD. Hold on.
Oh, hell no.
Oh,
You still got your CD collection?
I still got
So
mine.
hold on. We're
Is
gonna
that
do
Mac?
like this. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
Okay, so
up
we got
front.
Mac, Shell Shock,
That's a classic. That needs to be
See, huh?
that needs to be considered a classic.
Got Mr. Magic,
Mr.
Mr.
Magic.
Oh
Master P
shit!
Ice Cream Man, 504 Boys, Mia X Mama Drama. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Let's
Wow.
see. Hold on. We got Mean Green, Major Players. We got Little Soldiers, Boot Camp. We got Snoop Dogg's No Limit
Damn.
album.
That was
Oh,
Gangsters.
the
shit.
first one. Is that the first one or the second one?
That's the first one.
Okay, okay.
The
That's
first
Gangsta
two,
Boo right there.
Oh,
So hold on,
shit.
let me see.
Mhm.
We got Silk the
This shit is
Shocker,
real.
Charge It to the Game. I even
Wow.
bought the Master P basketball CD. The Who
Oh
You With.
shit!
Then we got Mia X, Unladylike. Hold on.
Classic.
We got
Oh,
Sons of Funk, The Game of Funk. Hot Boys
Mr.
up there
Serv-On.
too. Let me see. We got Mr. Serve on in there. Oh wait, yep,
Yep,
Mr.
yep.
Serve on Life
Serve
Insurance. We
on
got
life
Fiend,
insurance.
Street
Yep,
Life.
yep.
Hold on, let me see. TRU, True, Silk, Made Man, Gambino Family, Moby
Damn.
Dick, Gangsta Harmony. The I Got the Hookup soundtrack, Mercedes.
Wow.
That Mercedes. Oh,
Dog,
Lord,
man.
Wow.
Lord, Lord.
Steady mob,
That was a real fan.
steady mobbing. Hold on, cause I ain't no cap in my rap. You feel me? Mr.
Ha.
Serve
Word,
on,
word.
Oh,
Mr.
see
Serve on the
murder.
next level. See
See Murder.
Murder. The first Steady Mobbing album. Hold on, let's see. Soldier Slim, See Murder, Bossellini, Master P, Ice Cream Man.
When he was on Priority, yo, go back real quick, right? Because I don't think a lot of cats realize that Master P Ice Cream Man was released on
Ooh,
Priority
Priority.
Records.
But
Oh
see,
yeah.
Priority distributed No Limit.
Okay.
Distributed. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So hold
Yeah.
on, let's see. Okay, that's my Cash Money section, but there go that TRU. Okay, now we getting into Cash Money and yeah, okay, we getting into Cash Money
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So
Man,
Wow.
Yeah,
that's some real
was-
shit right there,
Man,
man.
hold on to that. Like
So-
that's history right there. Like, man, I can't tell you the I probably haven't seen a CD in about 25 years, damn near 30 years.
bro, I hold on to all of it, the CDs, and I hold on to all of my old double XLs and Word Up magazines and all of those. But I brought that up because I was mentioning going to Nick's Records and Tapes and them CDs being like $25. And God bless my mama, man, because she used to give me the bread to go get these CDs, man. And I remember Nick, he was what was Nick? Italian or was he like Chaldean or Middle Eastern?
I forget.
Anybody
I would,
remember?
I
thought he was
forget.
Arabic.
I think he might have been like Chaldean or something, but yeah, I remember Nick though. Nick was something else. I had to deal with that dude on a couple of cages. He was a piece of work.
So J.A. So when I do this impression, you would tell me if it's straight on. He used to always say to me, "Does your mom know you're coming in and spending her money like this?" That's what he used to say.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all
I
I
can see
did.
him right now. You know what I'm saying? Just saying those words too.
Yeah.
So,
And I was a little kid. That shit was like how on the movies, how the little kid be looking up at the adult and the adult looking down at me. And he used to, because I was in there so much buying No Limit CDs. But yep, does your mom know you're spending all this money? So it was like, yep. So
Right.
by the way,
One-
rest in peace. By the way, rest in peace to Nick, man.
Right.
Rest in peace to
doubt.
Nick.
Rest in peace to Nick.
yes, for those who are watching, Nick's Records and Tapes was a staple in Flint, man. He was like a mom and pop record store. He sold tapes and CDs, and you could go get CDs early, like, you know what I'm saying? Which you could go get CDs early. I don't know if he was supposed to be doing that, but you could go get the CD like 2 weeks before the release.
When he
release
got
date.
it, you got it.
Yeah, when he got it, you got it.
Yeah.
But so what it means to me, my reconfirmation in the Most High, to be part of KLC's legacy, it's like, that's, down for my niggas with C Murder and Snoop Dogg and Magic. That's make them say, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's move, bitch, get out the way. That's, so to have a whole project produced by KLC, I'm humbled. It's an honor. I was talking to David Banner the other day, and he told me I shouldn't ever say that I'm humbled by something. So I'll say, nah, David gotta just feel me on this. I'm humbled by the shit, man. I'm humbled by it. I'm grateful. Yeah, man. David Banner. You got to forgive me for that one because he was super passionate. He was like, "Nigga, don't you ever say you humble. Don't you ever say that you a king. Don't ever say you humble." And man, I love him. I love him to life, man. Like that dude is super dope. I thought about David Banner only because we just connected. Because we both have an extreme amount of love and respect for KLC, and we had like a super long conversation. But it just made me think about it when I said I was humbled, and he was just like, "Man, you a king." You know what I'm saying? Don't ever say you humbled. So to my brother David Banner, I'm still working on it, man. I'm still working on getting the humbledness out of me. But it is. I'm grateful. I think KLC is one of the greatest producers to ever do it. I think that No Limit, period, they whole run is so underrated. I don't think they get brought up enough. I don't think Beats by the Pound get brought up enough. They were just as influential as Pharrell, as the Neptunes, as Kanye, as Swiss Beats, as Timbaland, as Pete Rock, as they were for a good 3-year block. That was all anybody in the culture was listening to. And I think that Beats by the Pound, and not just KL, but KLC, Moby Dick, Craig B, Odell, and Carlos Stevens, they all deserve their credit for the imprint that they left on hip hop. To come from New Orleans, to put their foot down like that, a place that hadn't established itself yet in hip hop, I'm humbled, grateful, and honored to be a part of KLC's legacy, so that long after we gone from this planet, you know what I'm saying, there'll be a tie between me and my dog KLC. And I'm grateful for that because I truly believe that he's one of the greatest producers to ever do it.
So there's 5 members of Beats by the Pound, right?
Yes.
So you got a project with KLC. That means we got 4 more albums coming up.
Bro, listen, I told Moby Dick, I said, bro, it's on my bucket list. It's on my bucket list to have a Jon Connor project produced by all 5 of Beats by the Pound. That's my next mission. I'm gonna keep bugging them until I get it to happen, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So with this KLC, and I ain't gonna just bypass the fact that he just dropped. I was talking to anyway, I ain't gonna dwell on it. Okay, but anyway. But yeah, David Banner, But anyway, so with the whole process of this album, right? The what was the process like? Like, was these beats like? These was tailored beats for Jon Connor. Like, did y'all go in the studio together? Was this more like a remote, mostly situation, or and if anywhere in that process, any moments that you want to break down for the people?
So KL just be cooking. So he just had an influx of beats. And like I said, me and him always, anytime we would talk on the phone, I'd be like, man, we got to do a project together. And he'd be like, yeah, we're going to do a project together. We got to do a project together. But it would never materialize. And I just was like, bro, send me whatever. I'm like, any beats that you don't have plans for, any beats that you fucking with or that you rocking with or that you could hear me on. And so he went through his beats and he just kept sending them. You know what I'm saying? He just kept sending joints. So I went through, he sent me a folder, and then I picked the joints, and then we would go back and forth. I would let him hear what I was doing. He would give me his ideas on you know what I'm saying, how he felt or his perspective on how I should come on the joint. And yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. We would just be on the phone communicating with each other, and I would be sending the joints back and forth, and we would talk about them after I did them.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope.
Look, I'm sorry, you had a follow-up?
No. Go ahead, G.
I do got a follow-up actually on the David Banner conversation. So was there any discussions that you had with David during the process of making this album? Because I know you said y'all were talking about your mutual appreciation, but do David Banner's influence show up on 24?
I think Banner's influence gonna show up on the project after this one. Because because what happened, we met and we linked up after 24 was done. You know what I'm saying? So 24 was already done, and he put the battery in my back though. He said a lot of cool shit like in our first conversation. He said if this rap shit is what you gonna do, tear these motherfuckers' mouths out. If that's what he was like, if you gonna rap, and I felt him. I felt him in my spirit. Me and him both Aries. He April 11th. I'm April 13th. So it was cool too because I understand his energy and I understand the place that when he's encouraging you, I understand the place that it's coming from. For other signs, like when us Aries try to encourage people, sometimes it comes off as super aggressive. You know what I'm saying? But as an Aries, we need super aggressive or we need super direct. We need super like focused. And like our first conversation was amazing because it was that, and it was him just being like, man, if you gonna rap, if you gonna do it, if you gonna make these motherfuckers respect you, make them respect you, and all of that really sunk in. So I think you gonna hear the influence of me and David Banner being cool on the next album.
Okay, so I do want to get a little bit more into the album itself here because you did mention that KL got a bunch of beats, right? You know, that you already worked on, and you know, he sent them to you, right? So if I put the critic hat on, you know, like for a minute, right? People might be like, okay, well, he sent you like, you know, a bunch of his old beats. So how do you, like, if somebody were to come to you, like, you know, with that kind of question, how did you balance like sort of making it where it felt like a 2025 album and not a 1990 something KLC produced album?
Well, for one, I was talking to a friend of mine, shouts to my young dog Vice Carter. I was telling him I want to make the music that I miss. Instead of complaining about why hip hop don't sound like this no more, why motherfuckers ain't doing this, I'll just make that. I'll make if I miss the feeling that I used to get from No Limit, I'll just make that type of album. You know what I'm saying? If I miss boom bap, Pete Rock type beats or Jay Dilla type beats, I'll just make that. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted this album to. I don't want KL to ever try to be anything other than KLC. I want him to. I want KLC sound in all of its splendor. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to rap to. I would never want to rap to like KLC trying to modernize KLC. I just want whatever's in his heart, whatever's in his soul, whatever came out when he start hitting the MPC or start programming the drums or whatever. That's what I want to rap to. I want that feeling. I want to make. The thing is, man, I seen Rick Rubin say one time, he said, I'm not making the music for the people. I'm making what I like. And then whoever likes what I like will gravitate towards it. So the thing is, like, for me in this album, whatever people's perspective or perception is or whatever, in that regard, it sounds like a KLC album, which is exactly what I wanted it to sound like, which is exactly the type of sound that I miss hearing on a regular basis. I miss being able to hear something that sounds like that. And now I feel like at least you got the option now. In 2025, you have the option to hear something that came out in 2025, but that feeling is still there. Is you know what I'm saying? It ain't fucking watered down or nothing. It is KLC being KLC, and that's what I wanted to rap to. So I love it.
So I think because I know we all gotta jet up out of here, right? I think that's actually a good place to stop. And then part two, I think we can pick up talking about actual tracks from the album and maybe dive
You know
into
what
some
I
lyrics.
think too, bro? I'm gonna ask KL would he be down to come on the pod?
Okay,
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
That would be hard.
that'd be dope. That'd be dope. Let
That
us
would be
know.
hard.
We can make that happen ASAP.
Bet.
Dope.
Let's
Yeah.
go. But yeah, that you're right. That's a good. Yep, I know. Yep, for our people watching, yes, we kind of had to have a short episode today. I got caught in a storm. I was caught in the rain, man. I had to park the car for a little minute, but we will have a part two of us talking about the album 24. And yeah, hopefully I'm gonna hit KL and see if he down to come on the pod.
Go check
Okay.
the album out. Go check the album out.
Do we
It's
want to
dope.
do final thoughts for this, or do we want to wait to? You know what? Maybe I guess let's do final thoughts, because that's like our new conclusion since your cousin got on our head about our conclusion about wrapping it up.
Yeah.
or promo for this project, however you want to do it.
Bet. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all go check out me and KLC's new project 24. Is streaming on all streaming platforms right now. If you want to support directly, go to www.connorculture.com. You pay what you want, whatever price, whatever the music is worth to you, that's what you pay for. We appreciate the love and support, and I hope y'all enjoy the project. For those who grew up in the 90s like I did, I hope it gives you a little hint of nostalgia, but also reinvigorates, your love for hip hop in 2025. I hope to the young creatives out there, this album encourages you to just do what the fuck you want to do. Rap to what you want to rap to. Like, your fan base and your audience is going to gravitate to whatever it is that you like. So whatever you like, that's what you should rap to. Don't chase a sound. If you chase a sound, then you'll always miss your time. But if you stay true to what it is that you do, then you'll always make people gravitate to you. But if you always chasing a sound, you always gonna miss your time. So that's what this album is to me. This is, what I'm saying, the 14-year-old me getting to live out a dream and work with one of the greatest producers of all time. And also, just to say this too, the motherfucking beats is banging on this joint. It is fucking classic bounce, New Orleans. You got to remember, folks, KLC crafted and co-created the sound of New Orleans hip hop along with Manny Fresh. So it's like you about to get the authentic, thorough New Orleans bounce, bass heavy, fucking KLC beats by the pound sound. And man, I am honored to be able to bring that sound to the forefront in 2025. So make sure y'all go listen to Jon Connor KLC 24. Is streaming everywhere now.
Dope. And don't just stream it, buy it too.
Yes.
Dope.
Right. Look, get the merch too. Get all of the shirts.
Yeah, go get all that. Go get
all of that.
Send some bread with your boy.
No doubt. All right. So this has been Connor Culture. So we will be back. Hopefully, we might have a special guest. We may have KLC back with us. But Jon, we gonna let you work on that part. And then we go work on part 2. We let's do like a little deeper dive into the album. Allow people a chance to listen to it a little bit. And then we want to come back and hear about some of these lyrics, some of these beats, and maybe we can get KLC, to kind of share some of his thoughts on, the way he approached producing. And then you also mentioned that he actually gave you some direction. So I would be interested in actually hearing some of that feedback, but we'll say that for part 2.
Let's get it. I can't wait, man. I'm definitely gonna hit you. I know he'll be down, man. So I can't wait.
Dope.
Bet that.
Dope. All right, Jon, you want to send us off?
All right, y'all. See y'all in a little bit where we talk to y'all about 24 part 2. You did. Peace.
Peace.